Daddy can't tell me a story.
Hey, good transition, kid. I am so looking forward to you saying that again on Saturday at 4 p.m., man. You're going to be great. Love you. All right. So, mine is a story time, and it is about Echo. So, I do background work. I used to, and I've been very busy with this company I've made. Success is its own beast, right? I've made this company fairly successful. Don't have a lot of time, but my kids and I all do or have done background work, being in TV shows and movies and whatnot. And we've done a number of things for Disney and Marvel, rather specifically. And I got hired for Echo, and my kids got hired for a different scene. Both of them happened in the first two episodes. So if you go back, Kurt, and you watch episode 1, and they're doing very early on in the show, they're doing the roller skating rink where she comes in, right? My wife put on Facebook. You can just go see. You can find Aaron McFall on Facebook, and you can see the pictures there. Because we freeze framed it and took the picture and whatever. But Zoe's back when she had hair. Now her head is shaved. Well, she's growing it back now, but it's been shaved for a little while. But she was one of the camp kids doing the skating, as was Ryland, and as was my oldest daughter, Crosby. But she was one of the teenagers off in the booth or whatever. In that scene, 3 kids, we shot all day for 2 days. 2 days. We got paid. They were active. They were constantly working and doing their thing. Out of all of that, Zoe made the cut for like 10 seconds. Very good, clear picture of her. And there's one, that might be Ryland in the background in one scene. You never see Crosby. They 100% cut any angles out that her and a bunch of people were in got cut out. And I'm like, oh man. And I was talking about, man, that was really wasteful. I mean, I'm telling you, we shot and we shot and we shot. We came back the next day and we shot. And they kept doing different things with this. They spent 2 full days of paying people to work to cut out 90% of it. Is what they ended up doing. And that was surprising. But then I got the big role, right? I literally got cast as the engineer and training engineer. And it was a 2-day shoot for me as well. And 3 days. So 2-day shoot, but I had to go in and got paid for doing they got my costume done and everything else and took the pictures and sent it to the production people, blah, blah. So I got 1 day of prep and then 2 days of shooting. And first day we go in, and for the first hour, they're like, all right, we're going to use these people. We're going to do some establishing shots. Cool. And then, so I just chilled for an hour. Then after that, we went and worked for 2 or 3 hours, just shot over and over again. And so in the second episode, Kurt, there's a scene with a curly haired lady with glasses, the assistant, right? And I'm bad with the character names, but the leader of the Choctaw Nation.
Yep.
Because wheeling up in drugs after the big thing happens. I don't, if nobody's saying, I don't want to spoil, but the first big thing with Echo happens with the train.
Yep.
And he comes burning up in his truck, right? So that scene was very much me and this one other guy were walking with her and talking, and she's telling us stuff and this and that. She's talking to me, and I don't have a line, like I don't get to say anything, but we are designed to interact specifically, and we're interacting. And then, she gives me my orders. I go off in the distance, this and that. We did it. And then they're okay, cut. We're going to go set up some other stuff. We're going to do some other stuff. So all of us that were doing those scenes sat and waited for a few hours. Then we went back, and they were doing this big, huge crane shot, which ended up being the water tower binocular thing. And so I knew where I was in that, and I knew why I wasn't in that scene, but it's like, okay, that's that shot, this, and that, and the other. Came back for day 2, shot more and more. Now we're shooting stuff where they're investigating what's going on. He's talking to her at the trailer, and there's a ton of us standing around, like everybody's going, what's going on? I mean, like this big investigation thing, and we're doing it. Then, yeah, I mean, Charles is getting that Marvel money, dollar bills. I will. And he also says, Brandon Kill says, you had to get the big role. You're too tall. And yes, my kids and I, you all get paid. You get paid no matter what they do with the show. You get paid for being there, 100%. And it's a fixed rate.
As you should.
Yeah,
you did the
work. Exactly. So we shoot that half of that day, and it's getting towards night, and they're like, okay, and they are striking set already. And every other extra. So here's the thing about acting and all this stuff. Even if you have a line, if you're not a primary or basically an agent negotiated role of somehow, you're an extra. You can be a regular extra with lines and a known character, but you're still an extra. So it's just a term, right? So there are extras that just walk in the background or eat a lunch at the table, and then there's extras like I was doing where you interact, and then there's the next level up where you get lines and you are in the show for sure. Blah blah blah. Obviously, I was not on that part. So all right, we strike the set, right, and we're finishing up, and we go back to the tent, and they're like, all right, and they're rushing me like, here's your new outfit, go change. And then they're taking this really cool effect stuff and just really dirtying everything. My car, dude, my car had this charcoal dust that made it look nasty in it for so long because had to get dirtied up because I had to drive to the other set while they're still breaking out everything else. And so anyway, so I get to the next set where they're shooting the train scene, Kurt, where she's doing her thing, and there's some open things, and her I don't think it's spoiler to say her leg got stuck in the train car.
Yeah,
so it's that scene.
It might be, but it doesn't matter.
It doesn't really matter. It's a very minimal thing.
Right.
So they're doing that scene, and it's really cool to watch. And I've been dying to talk about it. I think I texted you a little bit from the set, Kurt. Like, I'm looking at the train cars. I can see her symbol spray painted on it. It's really cool, because you can't look. Disney is super strict about phones. They're like, you can't take pictures, you can't do stuff. But because this set was different, and it all depends on the level of extras, how many extras there. When it's a manageable number of extras, they'll let us have our phones with a little. It's an Agents of Shield symbol that's a red. It goes over and blocks your cameras. It's kind of cool. I mean, if it wasn't just dumb tape, I'd keep it as a souvenir. Like, look, it's Agents of Shield, but it really is just to block your cameras. And so I'm texting Kurt. I'm trying to I never want to be blacklisted, right? I want that opportunity to keep working with Marvel and Disney. So I behave. I was texting Kurt because I was just nerding out a little bit. That scene, by the way, Kurt, no train moved at all. They had these amazing, I know, but it's watching the scene back in the show in episode 2. This is episode 2, right? Watching the scene, they do such a good job. These things were 30-foot tall blue screens everywhere, tons of lights and hurricane level fans and these amazing movers. It was just so amazing to watch how, the rehearsals, the extras, and then she did it and did her thing. And then to watch how it played back, it's like that it was really amazing. So I sat there all night watching. Now I'm there for a reason. I am supposed to be driving the train.
That's what I thought.
Engineer.
That's what I thought too. All right.
I'm the engineer. I'm supposed to be driving the train. There's going to be these shots. Now they were going to position me in a spot where obviously the camera's getting me and I'm doing the thing, but the real engineer's like down below. And I mean, it's going to be real moving trains is how we're going to shoot this thing. And so I'll have to check on me. You're doing okay. Here's make sure you get some more food, everything. And all right, next thing. Now, keep in mind, this is literally, I was booked for 2 days. It was a Thursday. I think it was a Wednesday and a Thursday. I was booked for Friday morning at like 7 a.m. My wife and I were getting on a plane to fly to Rhode Island for our weekend getaway. We're going to go surprise Hugh and spend time exploring Rhode Island. And all that was that time, Kurt.
Yep.
And Kurt knows because Kurt was going to come and meet me. We're going to go see Doctor Who, Madness, Multitude of Madness.
Yeah,
Doctor Who Madness.
Doctor Who, Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, Doctor Strange. Thank you, Kurt. But
no, it's okay. There's a lot of doctors. It's hard.
Jesus, crazy.
Benedict Cumberbatch is the next Doctor Who. Is that what you're saying?
Random kid, get out of here with this stuff. All right, so now I'm literally only booked for 2 days. And then I get a text before I go to the other set that says, hey, your call time for tomorrow is this time at this thing. And I went, oh, I don't have a call time for tomorrow. I mean, I've had this trip booked for a long time and I paid for the hotel, I paid for the flights, none of it's and the only reason I accepted the job was because it was specifically these days before I was leaving. It worked out. So I went to the AD, the assistant director, and was talking to him and like, yeah, so I was like, look, I don't want to be blacklisted. I mean, if I really have to, I might be able to change my flight, but this wasn't the deal, and I want to be flexible on it. Like, no problem. We already got you filming tonight. We'll probably be fine. So, okay, by the way, I was on set at like 8-9 a.m. in the morning, starting that day for both days, and that was like an hour away. So now I'm on set all night. They're shooting a train. It's midnight, and I'm exhausted. And they're all right, that's a wrap. I'm like, what? What do you mean that's a wrap? I've been sitting here for like 7 hours watching you film this thing, being treated like a king and getting paid. along with a number of other people that were, I mean, some of the other people were full suited up and like, okay, so Kurt, you see the train come around and those armed guards.
Yeah.
There was like 3 or 4 of them that never left the tent that night, as we're sitting there. Obviously they did shoot something because there's a few little establishing shots with them. So I'm like, what do you mean? I was like, and the guy's like, yeah, I'm sorry, it's a wrap. That's how it goes sometimes. And we go back to the main set, and and I was like, I'm sorry I can't come back tomorrow. He said, no, we understand. It's all good. And I'm just thinking, because there's one other guy who's kind of arrogant on set, and he was like, I'm the conductor, and they had to go, no, you're not. That guy's the conductor. You're just an extra. And I'm thinking to myself, you better not replace me with him. I'm gonna be pissed. Get to the episode. Right. So, okay, we see my daughter in the first episode. Cool. My other 2 kids got cut out. It sucks. Because it's long days of shooting. That's the business, but it sucks. Watching that episode, and here's the establishing shot with the binocular. Okay, cool. I know exactly where I'm sitting. I understand exactly why I'm not in that scene, but it was just a huge long distance shot. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Cut to the truck comes wheeling up, sliding in, and I'm like, I'm not standing there. Where am I? This is not. I literally out loud. I couldn't help it. I literally out loud. This is not the scene. This is not the scene. They didn't use anything that they paid me for.
Okay.
They didn't use a single freaking thing except as they walk up towards the camera and they're talking, and then it shoots to him going. The line is that he says is don't worry about crap rolling downhill. It won't land on you. It'll land on me. And then he leaves, and right before the scene cuts, there's a big blue blur behind him, and that's me. Now, keep in mind, I'm still pissed. I'm just that ego guy. I'm still pissed. But there was a lot of people that got 0. I mean, when I say cut, 0 screen time, nothing. So I got that little blip that I go, okay, I know that's me because I know where I was standing and I know what I was wearing, and that blur is me. But I had a scene. I had a scene with one of the primary extras, and now you threw it away. Oh my God. And so, Kurt, I can't tell you if the show's good or not because I'm so butthurt over this. I'm enjoying it right now. For all we know, that blur's Cookie Monster. So that's my Echo story. That's the business, people. I mean, it is what it is, but I'm like, man, I had a name. Well, okay, not a named role, and it wouldn't have been credited, but an assigned role in an assigned scene. And by the way, as you notice, Kurt, there is no conductor. There is no driving the train. So they just went, well, if he's out, we don't even need to bother with it. Because they wasted so much time and money. Now, I will say they used 90% of what they shot with the train action stuff.
Sure.
But like I said, they didn't use 90% of the people that were sitting there waiting. And all that 2 days for that. Well, I took to describe probably 10 minutes is what, a 40-second scene.
Yeah.
We spent just tons of money. So yeah, I'm just glad. I will say my happy spot is they did not replace me with the arrogant guy who thought he had my job. But yeah, so
well, and I mean, to be fair, when you're looking at a train scene like that, you can presume that the audience is going to go, yeah, somebody's driving the train. We don't need to actually show them because that's just stupid otherwise. So, but
well, and this is the first role I got that was photo pics. So they literally, I was so excited and so happy. Like it wasn't just hey, we need some people. We don't care what size or height or race or color they are. We just need people, which I've gotten those jobs. It wasn't hey, we need biker types because I've gotten those jobs. It was, yeah, thank you, random kid. They liked my face. They liked it. I mean, they didn't change my hair. They didn't change anything. They picked me, and I felt special. I felt special for a minute. And then he's like, no, you ain't, buddy. No, you ain't. So, yeah.
We think you're special.
Well, I appreciate that, right?